Hey everybody, today we're going to take a quick look at the Bloomberg Morning Consult swing state polling for late August. We took a look at Emerson yesterday. Let's see what Morning Consult has to say. And the headline is Harris edges Trump in key states with Sunbelt now up for grabs. And of course, this is just one poll from one pollster. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. And this poll was conducted August 23rd through the 27th. So that's going to be just after the convention. And the sample used at least 450 registered voters in each state. So let's get into it. It says Harris now leads by 2 percentage points among registered voters across the 7 states. She is ahead by 1 point, a statistical tie among likely voters, a group that campaigns and pollsters begin to shift their attention to as election day nears. The statistical margin of error is 1 percentage point across the 7 states. So let's look at the 7 states. Across all 7, we've got Harris up by 2 points, 49 to 47. It's a very slight increase over the previous month. In Arizona, that state has narrowed. It's tied at 48 apiece. In Georgia, Harris has opened up a 2-point lead, 49 to 47. In Michigan, that has narrowed up considerably from the previous poll we saw last month. Now it's a 3-point edge for Harris, 49 to 46. Nevada, it's +4 for Harris, 49 to 45. In North Carolina, Harris has taken a 2-point lead there, 49 to 47. Pennsylvania has also flipped. It's +4 Harris, 51 to 47. In Wisconsin now, this has +8 for Harris, 52 to 44. I'm not sure about you, but a +8 there seems like kind of an outlier. So this is all continued momentum for Harris. As I've said the last few weeks, we don't know if it's a honeymoon period or if it's going to continue through election day. It seems most likely with the favorable media coverage that eventually she's going to come down at least 1 point, but it could be more. I've also previously mentioned the Bradley effect could be another factor. Voters might feel good about telling pollsters that they're going to support Harris, but on election day, a good chunk are actually going to not do what they said. And then there's also just the accuracy of polling in general. About 6 to 8 months ago when Trump had a lead, I would repeatedly tell people to wait until we get way closer to election day. I was expecting things to tighten. Of course, nobody was going to be able to predict all the things that have happened since, but given all those changes, we've definitely got to get past Labor Day, and I'm going to personally wait until October. So then they talk a little bit about the key issues. The poll shows swing state voters' perceptions of the economy haven't dramatically improved since Harris took over the top of the ticket. A majority of respondents still say they were better off under Trump, but voters appear less likely to hold Harris responsible for the economic insecurities that plagued Biden. By a 7-point margin, swing state voters trust Harris over Trump to help the middle class. On several economic factors, Harris has dented Trump's advantage or even claimed the high ground. When it comes to who voters trust more to handle housing costs, Harris has a 4-point advantage over Trump. On that issue, Biden recently had taken a 6-point deficit to the Republican. Harris has also overtaken Trump on the issues of government benefits, pay raises, and personal debt. So then we've got the trust of each issue from Biden in early July to Kamala Harris in August. Her best issue is going to be healthcare costs. It's the only one that's over 50%. Most of the other ones are in the 40s. The bottom 2 that are under 40 are going to be gas prices and stock market performance. Now again, there's different ways to interpret this. If you're a big Harris fan, you might just say she's extremely popular now and that's the end of it. If you're a big Trump fan, you're going to be questioning the pollsters. I get it. But the thing I'd say to each side is most of the pollsters did have Trump with an advantage just 2, 3, 4 months ago. So maybe they were underestimating him by an even wider margin. That's possible. But they were at least willing to show Trump with the lead. And then to the other side, I'd say Harris as vice president has not at all been popular. Now the media coverage has been very favorable. It seems very reasonable to question the sustainability of such a dramatic shift in popularity in a short time. But it seems like a lot of people only want to focus on what happened most recently. If that's the only thing you're looking at, then yeah, Harris looks like she has the momentum. Maybe it lasts, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the polling is undercounting Trump again by 2, 3, 4 points, or maybe Harris wins in a landslide. So it says Harris has narrowed Trump's advantage even on some key issues like immigration and crime, with abortion being the major topic she has an advantage with. Then it says by a 5-point margin, swing state voters trust her over Trump to protect personal freedom, but by the same margin, swing state voters were more likely to say they find Trump to be patriotic. And then they talk about the honeymoon period. Again, it could keep going, it could stop at any point. It says she did not get a convention bump because the bump was at the beginning of the campaign. Again, I think a lot of that is just excitement with Democrats that were disaffected with Biden at the top of the ticket where it looked like he was likely to lose. But Harris does have 3.5 years of being part of the current administration. The popularity with that administration has been low. Her favorables have also been low. So there's enough there for her to be nervous that once she gets more exposure, those numbers could come back down. I have heard various criticism over the media being overly friendly to Harris. I do think a lot of that is legitimate. And on the Trump side, he does have a lot of baggage, and usually that gets fleshed out in a lot of interviews. And maybe he blew it by debating Biden so early. He's going to be nervous himself, but this is his 3rd campaign. Even though this time he's got the indictments and the conviction, you'd think he'd be able to put everything together and correct any mistakes from the past. Then they break it down with registered and likely voters, and between those two, the margin usually shifts just 1, maybe 2 points. And then it says Democrats have more excitement excitement about a Harris victory. 84% of Harris supporters say they expect her to win compared to 79% of Trump supporters. Then they talk more about the media coverage. It's undeniable that it's been favorable for Harris. I would think the question is that amount of favorable coverage inordinate? You can be the judge of that, but down here it says independent Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s decision to suspend his campaign and throw his support to Trump did not have an obvious effect on the race. Kennedy received support from 5% of respondents in the Bloomberg poll last month, down from a high of 10 last November. The number of swing state voters who said they were undecided or would not vote increased last month, suggesting that many Kennedy voters might now stay home. And finally, Democrats also appear to have an edge on the bottom of the ticket. About 30% of swing state voters say Harris's selection of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz made them more likely to vote for her, while only 23% said the same thing last month about Senator J.D. Vance after Trump picked him. Swing state voters were more likely to see Walz as mentally fit, compassionate, honest, and experienced than Vance. So that's pretty much it. Again, clear momentum for Harris over the past 5 or 6 weeks. Is it reasonable? Is it sustainable? How much could it change? Those are all great questions we just don't have the answer to. It's easy enough to make a case for each side. There's enough there from the previous elections as well as this election to say that Trump is going to be able to pull it out in the end, and there's enough there to say that Harris is going to hang on and secure the victory. A lot of people are going to be right, a lot of people are going to be wrong. We've already seen that play out this year. A lot of predictions have fallen flat, so that's why we've pretty much got to wait until the end this time to have a prediction that has anything even approaching a medium level of confidence. But that's it for this poll, so let me know in the comments, what do you think about any of the data in this poll? Is it that great for Harris? Is she doing even better? Are they missampling the electorate and Trump is going to do better? What's going to change over the next 2 months? Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.